Dr. Brad Conder here, and today we're going to talk about some of the common issues that we see with people that work in office spaces or do a lot of computer work. And also today I'm going to give you some self-care and some things you can do while at the office to help some of these issues. So some of the most common issues that we see that people have pain with and trouble with when they're working at a computer, working at the office, is going to be neck pain and back pain. That's what we treat the most anyway, but those things are really prevalent in those that work in the office and have to sit a lot. And it's not just sitting, it's also standing sometimes. So anything that requires a long periods of time of being in one position. And so that's kind of the things that we try to cover the most as far as helping people. So first thing first is neck pain. And so oftentimes your neck pain is going to be somewhere along this area of what people think is the shoulder. It's oftentimes a neck problem, even if it comes all the way down to here. So you get a lot of tightness through this area, all through this side of your neck. Sometimes you get pain and tension all the way over the back side of your head, and you'll get tension in both shoulders. A lot of that has to do with some postural positions and issues that we have when we're sitting at a computer doing our work where everything's slumped forward and our head is forward. And even with my computer here, it's a little bit too low, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as far as how to help some ergonomic issues. So the first issue is having neck pain. You see that a lot. Second thing is back pain. So if you've seen some of our videos in the past, one of the most common reasons for people to have almost any back problem is sitting. So even when you're having good back support, as far as a roll to fit for your back, sitting still gives your discs and your joints a lot of extra pressure. So sitting will cause most of our back problems, and we're going to try to help that today. So our two most common issues, neck pain, back pain, that's what we're going to work on today. So the first thing you want to work on is ergonomic help with your neck or your back. So for the neck, oftentimes it's working on a computer, working on something low. So as you see here with my computer, I'm actually, from a shoulder standpoint, I'm actually not too bad as far as my wrists, my elbow, and my shoulder being in a good neutral position. The problem here is my head. So I had to look down to work on my computer. And so typically what we're going to want to do, now in the laptop's case it's a little bit harder, so you're going to want to try to bring something up to bring that laptop up. So we're getting closer and closer. This is still not high enough where you want it to be kind of eye level. The problem you're going to have with this is you're also going to start taking your hands and your arms in kind of a more awkward position. So you're going to have to find something in the middle to give you some good eye position and wrist and hand position. If you're using a computer, it's going to be easier because you can have a separate monitor and a keyboard. So that way you can put your monitor up on something that's taller to make sure it's eye level so your head keeps up instead of down. And your keyboard is also going to be kind of right here in front of you. So desktop is going to be easier. Your computers or your laptops are going to be harder. The other thing is just your back. So oftentimes I will suggest some type of roll. You don't have to get a good lumbar support like I have, but you do want to be able to sit back into your chair, put it really low in your back, and sit back and have that support and bring yourself up to your computer. Okay? That's probably the best thing we can do as far as the back, and also your chair is about a 90-degree angle here as well. Sometimes people will like to kind of have their chair higher or lower, whatever makes your back feel the best and having less pressure on their hips. So there are some basic ergonomic tips that you can start with. Also today I wanted to kind of give you some tips on some exercises to help as well, because the biggest key to postural strain for your neck and your back is not just having good ergonomics, but to move. So it's the number one tip you want to take away from today. Once an hour, once every 2 hours, you want to do some type of movement to counteract all this stress you have by sitting and at your computer. So, a couple exercises. First things first is I love being able to have a chair to where I can lean back in the chair. I put my hands behind my head and lean back and hold that for a couple seconds. Feels good in my shoulders, feels good in my neck. A great stretch. Sometimes people do this naturally already on their own, and it should feel good to do so. You do about 4 to 5 reps, and that's all you need to do, but you do it 3 or 4 times a day, which is the most important thing. Okay. Another good exercise to work on as far as office self-care exercises is sitting up and doing either doing 2 arms back together, doing shoulder blade squeezes, or doing what we call a wall angel, where sometimes you have to be against the wall where you just reach over your head and come back down. Do 10 of each one of those. You do those once an hour, you're getting your shoulders back as well, and so you're working on your neck by stretching your neck over the chair, but you're also working on your shoulders. So if you get some of my first main suggestions when I give people some postural stress, the key to those two, if they hurt at all, don't do them. Work on getting yourself back in other ways. And then the last thing I'll give you for the neck is I'll also like to try to get people to do a basic chin tuck. And so throughout the day, I'll have them work on the computer, take a small break, 4 to 5 chin tucks, 4 or 5 lean backs, and then 4 to 5 arm stretches. You take 2 or 3 minutes to do that, twice in the morning, twice in the afternoon. That'll really help break up that posture. Now lastly, for your low back, what we're going to work on is doing, you just want to stand up. Sounds simple, but you need to stand up every so often, where you stand up and actually just let your back move. And I would usually suggest back bends. 4 to 5 reps of back bends. And then get into a lunge position, lunge stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you stretch the hip flexors, but you also stretch your back. And then lastly, at least once or twice a day, if you can go for a 5-10 minute walk, would be really helpful too. So I know this is a long video today, but hopefully it'll give you a lot of good information as far as some self-care that you can do for common office problems. If you have any more questions, please get a hold of us at 502-509-3136. I can bring you in for a free discovery session. I can look over all these problems, make sure what they're going on. We can help you get back to working without pain and without issues, so you can focus on what you need to do.